Deepak, I must ask about this question, like this particular program of yours. I came across an initiative of the Foundation on Skilling Persons with Disability. Could you tell me why you think the skilling and employment for person with disability matters, while many of our current policies and programs are focused only largely on the welfare aspects of person with disability, and you are thinking of skilling them when they are still thinking of welfare, your foundation is thinking of skilling them. Can you take us through your experience and also some outcomes of this program? Why this important is?
So, according to the 2011 census, only about 36% of persons with disability in India had meaningful employment. More recent estimates suggest that this number has largely remained unchanged or relatively unchanged in the years since. Also, high-skilled jobs remain largely inaccessible to persons with disabilities due to lack of education or training opportunities tailored to their needs. When we started a scholarship program for visually impaired students in partnership with an NGO about 6-7 years ago, we were seeing how they were completing their graduation with flying colors but couldn't get employed, and therefore resorted to joining a post-graduation degree program. Now, we all appreciate their learning zeal, but we also realize that they resorted to this because they felt that they have escaped the employability problem for another 2 years. So let me, continue studying more, and hopefully the problem will get resolved after 2 years. So sometimes it is wishful thinking. Sometimes they're just delaying the problem, kind of a thing. It's like in the cities, the government builds a flyover to bypass a junction, but then the traffic jam basically moves to the next junction, right? So something like this was happening. So along with our partner, we co-created what we called as the Education, Mobility and Employability Training Program that combines scholarship grants to enable them to pursue their graduation studies, with a grant for assistive devices, a digital device like a laptop, as well as specific skill development training program during their graduation studies. So, which means that over the course of the 3 or 4 years, they are continuously upskilled to be able to get placed in a job when they complete graduation, right? So now with more experience, we are realizing that the skill development needs to start much earlier, maybe in their high school years. So we are running a pilot program for visually impaired students who are in their 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th grade. Because access to, for example, digital technology, digital literacy is often overshadowed because there are other needs for, say, the visually impaired student that needs to be met. So that's one point. Second, in my interactions with persons with disability, I've seen a very unprecedented urge to become financially independent and give confidence to the families that they can take care of themselves, because the parents and the other caregivers in the family have to dedicate literally almost their whole time and effort to take care of the persons with disability. So there is an urge within them that they want to become independent, they want to take care of themselves, they want to be financially independent. So at Cognizant Foundation, for example, during the last financial year 23-24, we have trained about 950 persons with disability in IT, ITS skilling, and about 420 persons with disability were trained in employability skilling. Now, in all these cases, it's not only about training. We have seen upwards of 75% of them getting employed. Right, that's the proof of the pudding. So, which means that there has to be the support to pursue their education, as well as the employability training, and then the placement opportunities provided to them. However, all this is fine, but a lot more to be done. It does require NGOs and civil society organizations to create the awareness among corporations on how best to utilize the talent of persons with disability. And we have seen amazing success where the specific recruitment team in the corporation, along with some of the corporations who have dedicated diversity and inclusion heads, who have the mandate to identify job roles where persons with disabilities are best fit. This is not at all done out of compassion, but purely on fitment to business requirements, right? And there's nothing like relaxing the criteria because we are engaging or we are employing a person with disability. Business being business, they demand that any candidate perform to their optimal potential based on the business needs. But a lot more awareness also needs to be created, and awareness is being done correctly, but a lot more can be done.
I think this actually reminds me about a case study we have developed actually. So this case study is about an organization in Mysuru. In fact, they employ persons with hearing impairment in their company. In fact, it is again, it's not just because of the some sympathy or empathy they need to employ them, because it's more an opportunity for that industry. If a normal or a person who can hear want to work in that organization, want to go to the shop floor with an hearing plug because there's a noise in the shop floor, it becomes an advantage for that company to hire a person with hearing impairment, because they don't even need to provide a ear plug, number one. Second thing is there's no attrition also, because a normal person or a person with not hearing impairment problem would eventually leave that job over the period because of the noisy environment, etc. But if the hearing impaired person engages, so there's no problem of attrition also. And many times, if the proper HR audit is done, HR planning is done, so you can see person with disability, how they can be more able to do that specific job. They're not disabled to do all the work. They are disabled in some areas, but not in every other aspects actually. That's a wonderful point you communicated. I think this reminded me about the case study we worked on. And also, when I was why I was personally very interested to ask this question, because when I was doing my field work in Andhra and Telangana, I was talking to a person in the self-help group of person with disability, and he was doing a accountant job for the self-help groups. It was not high income job, but in the rural area he was doing that accountant job and earning his livelihood. And when I asked him, like, why are you engaged with this job when it is paying very meager money, not so remunerative? Why do you want to engage and contribute these services? What the statement he said is really, I can't forget that, it still haunts in my mind. He said, "Sir, before I was doing this job, people in my community calling me a lame." He was locomotive disabled actually. They didn't even know my name. They didn't even bother to know my name. But now they call me as an accountant, the person providing accounting services to the self-help groups in the villages, and they know my name. That's the largest, probably the difference I could ask for from my own fellow villagers in my village actually. So, personally, I feel the persons with disability through skilling and employability and employment programs get that kind of an identity, that kind of the respect and recognition to their abilities, I would say. I really appreciate the work you are doing. I'm happy to kind of see more work in this area.
Thank you.